Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now for this video, I'd like to review a Blu-ray that I watched last night from 1982, and one that I thoroughly enjoyed and can highly recommend to any horror fan. And that movie is called Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker. Now this is a great edition. I mean, look at that. It's got a lovely slipcover and yeah, reversible artwork. That's its other name, Night Warning. Yeah. Before I talk any more about the movie and give you my own thoughts about it, I'll just read you the blurb just to give you an idea of the story. Yeah. Okay. So terror begins when a night of murder and bloodshed leads bigoted police detective Joe Carlson, played by Bo Svensson, to try to frame orphaned high school basketball player Billy Lynch, played by Jimmy McNichol. However, Billy's Aunt Cheryl, Susan Tyrell, is the real knife-wielding culprit, and with Billy about to graduate, a twisted urge to keep him all to herself is about to erupt in a wave of carnage. No one is safe when an unstable lawman and a psychotic aunt converge in a shocking climax you'll never forget. Julia Duffy from TV's Newhart and Bill Paxton from Aliens and Mortuary co-star in this cult shocker directed by TV great William Asher. Now see this cutting-edge thriller in high definition from a 2K scan from the original camera negative. So there you go, guys. That's the blurb of this edition of Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker. Now, I'll just talk a little bit more about the movie and give you my thoughts on the film as a whole. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It starts off with a real bang. You've got this this young couple and they're sort of like getting into the car and they're waving goodbye to the aunt and the little boy, both of whom are standing on the doorstep and that. You know, they seem like at first impressions, they seem like a real close-knit, happy family. Yeah, so they get in the car, this young couple and that, you know, presumably the mother and father of the little boy, and they're waving goodbye to the aunt and that. And as they're driving along, you know, driving along this road, the driver, he starts losing control of the car, and it sort of veers, you know, sideways and that, you know, and it culminates in horrific death, guys, of both passengers. You know, there's this lorry in front of them, and it's got like a log protruding, and it goes right through the windscreen of the car and kills the guy instantly. And the girl's still left in the car alive and that, and she's helpless basically. And then the car, it just goes over this cliff and that, you know, just goes into the walls and just bursts into flames. So there you go. As I say, that's the movie starts with a bang and that. And then the story goes on, you know, a couple of years later when the lad's grown up and that, and he's living with his aunts and that, you know, and oh my God, is she a crackpot, guys, this woman. You know, she's got no morals at all about protecting. She's overprotective of Billy, and she won't anybody, you know, she won't let anybody near him and that, you know. And you've got this this police detective, played by Bo Svensson, police detective Joe Carlson, and he's a bit of a slimeball and that, and he's very bigoted because after an incident involving Billy's aunt and a TV repairman, when the TV repairman goes to the house, you know, to repair the television, she comes on to him like very strong and that, you know, and she basically tries to seduce him, and she rips open her top and that, you know, and you know, and he doesn't want to be bothered, he just wants to go and that, you know. She's really coming on strong to him, and then it culminates in a very bloody, you know, very bloody climax, guys, because she ends up stabbing him to death, you know, and as she's stabbing him, there's blood spattering everywhere. Billy just happens to come home and he sees what's happening through the window, and of course he's shocked in that, and he dashes into the house and that, you know, and he sort of like intervenes in that. But of course the guy's dead and that, you know, there's nothing he can do, and he gets all the blood over his hands, Billy, and that. And then he sort of like when the police come onto the scene, this bigoted police detective played by Bo Svensson, he immediately suspects Billy of foul play. And another thing that sort of like makes the police detective suspicious is that it turns out that the guy who came to repair the TV is actually gay. And then there's a guy at school, like he's sort of like an instructor, sports instructor, and he's gay as well. So the cop tries to pick dirt out of Billy's relationship, you know, with the guy, his coach at school and that. But I won't go on too much about it. I don't want to spoil the story because it's a cracking movie. It's full of atmosphere, very tense, quite bloody in parts and that. And this woman, oh, she's one of the most deranged women I have ever seen in a horror movie. She really is, you know. I say she stops at nothing to protect Billy and that, you know, and you know, she's very prone to sort of like sudden she's very prone to sudden outbursts of rage and that, you know, she basically just goes off her head, you know, at the slightest provocation. And oh yeah, so I think this is one of the best horror thrillers of the 1980s. Yeah, I did see it a couple of months ago on I think it was YouTube. And I said, I've got to add that to my collection, yeah. And this is a great edition, this, it really is, yeah, from Code Red. It's just got a couple of special features here, guys, yeah. 2017 2K scan from the original camera negative. And it's got commentary by the producer-writer Stephen Bremer and co-writer Alan J. Glutman. Audio commentary by Jimmy McNichol. On-camera interviews with stars Jimmy McNichol and Susan Tyrrell, yeah. And a theatrical trailer, yeah, actor Stephen Easton. Makeup artist Alan A. Alphone. Yeah, so if you're going to get an edition of Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, guys, I highly recommend you get this Code Red edition. It's a fantastic edition, and the picture is absolutely pristine. It really is, yeah. And you really feel for Billy in that, you know, the way he sort of like his aunt treats him and that. She's sort of like, it's a kind of a weird tough love, really. Because she doesn't want him to go away, you know. He has sort of like he has thoughts about going away and that, you know, and she doesn't want him to go away. And as I say, anybody who sort of like comes between her and Billy, you know, she unleashes her wrath, you know, and boy does she unleash her wrath. Yeah, she's one of the most real screwball she is. She's one of the most nutty characters I've ever seen in a horror movie, you know. She really is. And I say, when the film starts, she starts off, you know, she conveys this false impression, a very shallow impression of being a loving aunt, you know, because she's got the little boy on the doorstep, she's waving goodbye to the parents and that. But there's a twist there involving the man, you know, man and the woman in the car. But I won't reveal what that twist is. You'll have to watch the film, guys, to see what that twist is. But you know, if you like a good horror movie from the 1980s, I would highly recommend you get yourself a copy of Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's a movie with a good rewatchability factor. You know, it's so I'm definitely keeping this in my collection. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, on to a scale now of out of 10. No hesitation. I am going to give Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker a full 10 out of 10, because that's how much I enjoyed this movie. It's got a good solid story, excellent cast, and a good subplot with the detective, the bigoted, slimy detective. Oh, you'd almost hate him as much as you hate the ants, you know, because he's poking his nose in and he just can't see. You know, he's got like an assistant in that, and his assistant, he's sort of like he deep down he suspects Billy is innocent, but his bigoted boss won't have it, and he's on Billy all the time. You know, he won't leave him alone, and he doesn't, you know, he doesn't want to sort of like let anything stand in his way in terms of getting Billy convicted, you know, and sent to prison for life, because he thinks that Billy murdered this TV man. Yeah, so he's you know, he's always around Billy and that, you know, he's tormenting him and that, and he's trying to trip him up and that with things and that, and of course Billy gets more and more angry and upset and that. But yeah, it's a real good solid story. Yeah, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, and one I can definitely recommend you check out. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that concludes my review of Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker from 1982. Have you seen this movie? What did you think of it? Leave a comments down below. I'd be very interested to read. Yeah. Let's say if you haven't got it, guys, you haven't seen it, highly recommend that you get yourself a copy. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.